Hello everyone. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. I hope you and your family is doing good in this pandemic situation. I, Professor Shubhangi Chowre, Faculty of Information Technology Department of Nagpur Institute of Technology, Nagpur. I heartily welcome you all for the inaugural ceremony of national level short-term training program on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. Vitality is a main ingredient to enhance professional education and competence. Enhancing the vitality in the key domain of teaching, assessing, research, professionalism, and administration. Today, we are taking a step for the enrichment of the participant through this short-term training program. It is an honor to have with us eminent and dynamic guest, Ms. Khushbu Jain, cyber security expert, advocate, Supreme Court. I heartily welcome you, ma'am. We have with us our today's expert speaker, Dr. Ghosh Beg Mohammed, Associate Professor, Vardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad. I welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Professor Jagdish Pillai, sir, Head Information Technology Department and convener of this STP program. I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Amol Dixit sir, on the inaugural ceremony of this short-term training program. Goddess Saraswati is a symbol of learning, leadership, art, and science. Let us start our today's inaugural ceremony with Saraswati Vandana.
देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदा जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीम् बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्.
Now, I would like to request Professor Jagdish Pimple, Head IT and convener of this STTP program, to give an opening remark. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shubhangi madam. Is it my voice is audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. A very warm good morning to one and all present here. I, Professor Jagdish Pimple, Head of Information Technology Department of Nagpur Institute of Technology, Nagpur, and convener of national level online 1 week short-term training program on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. I heartily welcome you all for this auspicious occasion of inaugural ceremony of 1 week national level STTP on blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. First of all, I would like to thank our today's chief guest, Ms. Khushbu Jain Madam, cyber security expert, advocate, Supreme Court, Delhi, for accepting our invitation and being with us today from in spite of her busy schedule. Welcome you, Madam. I am very much happy to share with you all more than 1400 participants were registered from throughout the nation, where the participants are from Karnataka, Gujarat, Bihar, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Jammu, Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, UP, Mumbai, Pune, Maharashtra, and many more. As we already know, the blockchain technology is one of the booming technology in the world. The grooming engineers and academicians should aware about this technology. By keeping these things in a mind, we have organized this 1 week STTP program. During this 1 week STTP program, the expert keynote speaker like Dr. Gosibek Mohammed, Associate Professor, Bardhaman College of Engineering, Hyderabad, Professor Pranav Ratta, University of Jammu, Kathua, Dr. Vijay Gadicha, Associate Professor and Dean Academics, Raisoni University, Amravati, Dr. Mangesh Ghonge, SITRC, Nashik, Dr. Kamal Shah, Dean R&D, Thakur College of Engineering and Technology, Mumbai, Professor Sandeep Bankar, TCET, Mumbai, and Mr. Raj Arora, CU, Rivet Networks, Nagpur, going to deliver a session on various topics related to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. The topic will be covered in this 1 week STTPR: Introduction to Blockchain and Cryptocurrency, Privacy and Trust in Blockchain, Cryptographic Algorithm and Protocols, Security Issues in Blockchain, Hyperledger Fabric, Features of Blockchain Basics, Ethereum Hands-on, Solidity Program, MetaMask, Transaction Show, and many more. So with this, I request all the participants stay tuned and attend all the session actively. Clear your all the doubts from our experts and enhance your technical knowledge related to blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. With this, thank you one and all. Thank you. Over to you, Shubhangi Madam, please.
Thank you so much, sir. It is my honor to introduce our today's chief guest, Ms. Khushbu Jain, Advocate, Supreme Court. Ma'am is a cyber security expert and practicing advocate before the Supreme Court of India and founding partner ARK Legal. Ma'am has been a legal counsel of several complex and path-breaking corporate and criminal cases. She has significant experience in non-commercial litigation with the special focus on arbitration matters. Her practice spans across diverse areas of corporate and commercial law, including foreign investment, joint venture, M&A, private quality, and corporate contacts. Ma'am has a breadth of experience in handling privacy, data protection, and cybersecurity issues. She actively advised clients in fitness and gaming and technology sector. She has developed considerable expertise in handling incident response work and crisis management. Ms. Jain has been helping in capacity building by imparting skill to various government and international institutions. She has also contributing to Maharashtra Cyber and Bombay Management Association in advisory role. Ma'am is a regular opinion column writer for several newspaper and popular guest on national level television. She speaks and writes exclusively on subject related to corporate law, privacy, and cybersecurity. Ms. Jain has been organizing a talk series, BSE Robot, in collaboration with Bombay Stock Exchange. This endeavor brings together fitness brains in finance, technology, and law discuss a post-COVID world. Ma'am, your biodata is very much enlightening to us. Now, with this, I would like to request to address the gathering with word of wisdom. Over to you, ma'am.
How much time I have? Let's start with that.
How about 15 to 20 minutes?
Oh, perfect. All right. So thank you so much, first of all, for having me as a guest in your esteemed college or university. And also, I congratulate you to bring in a topic which is need of the hour to have, to make students equipped with the new kind of technology coming in place and be aware about it. We have seen a lot of courses that come in place. They are, they're age old, running, but there is a dire need of technology enabled, the new thing coming in, in the globe to make students equipped with it while studying. So thank you. I really thank the university and the institute to bring in such a topic. Now to start with, okay, I'm not from the technology background, but to start with, whereas legal part is concerned and if we see that cryptocurrency has been a hot topic in the field of, let's say, finance, technology, and law since its inception. And it has, generated a wide array of opinions from all countries across the globe. There is no secret, as to cryptocurrency has earned somewhat a bad reputation also, due to several issues we might discuss if required. But yes, one has to understand now that blockchain and cryptocurrency are, apart from boon, there is a lot of bad reputation, and one has to understand while getting into this technology as to what exactly, in different aspects. One is the technology aspect, which I think next 3 days all of you will be dealing with a lot. The other is the regulation aspect, whereas cryptocurrency is concerned, India and across the globe. Also to talk about what are the benefits, what are the major issues whereas cryptocurrency is concerned, what benefits does it bring in, what exactly is the status of cryptocurrency whereas India is concerned. We have seen a lot is happening. What are the steps that are being taken whereas, regulating cryptocurrency is concerned? What is it which we're looking into or should be looking into? So these are the few things we can have a good discussion upon. Now to start with, if I just restrict myself to cryptocurrency, you can look into countries such as, Japan, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, Singapore, Canada. They've adopted cryptocurrency and they're trying to regulate it under their anti-money laundering provisions. Japan, if you look into, they went either even a step further, and they started putting into an extent that, accepted as a form of payment. Italy went too far, and they accepted in the means of exchange that it is a separate from legal tender, but yes, they are accepting it. Now countries like, Saudi Arabia, China, they have completely banned the use of cryptocurrency, but at the same time they still operate in an uncharted legal territory, and it is difficult to fit into a solid definition, whereas, it's a legal tender or it's not, and understanding or regulating it effectively is still an issue whereas these countries are concerned. I'll come on India separately. Now, what are the major issues that we keep thinking about the moment we hear the name of cryptocurrency? One is the decentralized nature. That's one of the benefits also. But apart from that, government issued currencies and notes and coins, they are controlled, centrally. There's a central issuing authority. It is backed by the stored gold. Now, cryptocurrency is owned by no one, no person. It is highly decentralized, making it very difficult for any of the government to regulate it. And this is hindered for a suitable legal framework. If I put it in a nutshell, now it might give you. It also serves as an advantage that yes, it's a decentralized thing. Crypto owners. For the crypto owners as government, it would be difficult for the governments to find it or to impose hard rules on it. So yes, two way around it. Now, what are the next issue comes as to volatility. Now, when I talk about volatility, it talks about that it derives from demand and supply. So it's a highly volatile, area when we talk about cryptocurrency. They are known to be extremely because of, huge deviations, both in negative and positive overnight. Like, gold, if you look into the gold, which is backed, which, the fiat currency which have is backed by the gold. So there is a relatively stability when we talk about, the normal currency, which is backed by the gold. But the moment we switch to cryptocurrency, yes, there's a high volatility over there. I mean, if I may just see, it goes 50% up in the overnight, goes down, and let's just see last year how this currency volatility happened. It fell from $7,500 to $3,500 in the next year. So imagine, just see the gap into it in a year from $3,500 to $7,500 to $3,500. So there's a sudden and an extreme volatility that can be bad for an economy if we look into national level, and also market instability it will lead to at national and also at the global level. Now, what another issue that comes along with it is money laundering and funding terrorism. Almost all the funding that happens, we have been seeing that ransomware or terrorism funding, everything goes on with the money laundering. Just give me 1 second. I'll give you a call back. I'm in a call. So money laundering and funding terrorism. So any kind of cryptocurrency, it brings in a lot of questions with regard to money laundering. there is an ease of motion whereas cryptocurrency is concerned. There is no checks, there is nothing, no check, whereas purchasing or selling of coins is concerned. It becomes difficult to track. I'm saying it's not impossible. There are ways to track it, and we have seen in the last US thing, whatever happened, the payment was done in ransomware and crypto, and that was being found. And there are crypto trackers also. One can use it, but yes, more or large, it becomes difficult. The transactions are not directly linked to the physical address or to my my name specifically. So it creates a large room for unscrupulous activities like money laundering, drug dealing, fund terrorism. I think all of us must have read the news, whereas Bombay was concerned that recently there has been a huge payment to drug happened, and yesterday some arrests were being done, or some investigation has been started by the CBI, Mumbai CBI, and it's still in proceeds. It would be good for you to keep on reading that aspect, because it's not books, it's everyday news, and everyday changes happening in this field is what is going to teach you. Now, apart from money laundering and fund terrorism, the next major issue that comes is taxation, which is a hurdle, because while you are trying to regulate the cryptocurrency, what do you do about the taxation? Most countries are of the opinion that they should be taxed, but they are split whether they are taxed as a currency or they should be taxed as a commodity. I'll come on India part, that India, we are no more taking this as a legal tender. To start with, a bill came, tried to ban entire cryptocurrency and everything. Then Supreme Court intervened. There was an IMI, Internet Mobile Association, filed a writ petition in Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that no, it's not illegal per se. But then it's not been given a legal, recognition as a legal tender. So it can be an asset, it can be, whatever the form of it. Then comes issues as to, will there be a gift tax? What happens? So you can't deal in transactions as a currency, as a legal tender, but it did not criminalized, or it did not make crypto as illegal per se. Then there's a new bill which has been pending, and we may discuss about that bill too. The one which has recently been proposed, whereas regulating of cryptocurrency is concerned. Now, so taxation becomes a very big issue. Border taxes are another loophole that need to be plugged in, because online is very easy to transact. And how do you do cross-border transactions? And how do you put a check to it? How do you put taxations? Whereas borders are concerned between different countries, this transfers very fast. So how exactly one has to deal with this is one aspect which is to be looked into. There are other issues one has to understand, but let's look into the benefits to start with. Now, yeah, I mean, all of us knows that there are advantages to cryptocurrency, and we cannot deny, despite whatever the issues which are emerging. One is that it reduces the need for the middlemen. It's easier, it's faster, it requires less or no additional transaction fees. It eliminates the current social and financial structures. P2P companies can that trade directly with each other will be most benefited by having cryptocurrency. Apart from that, let's not forget smart contracts. The smart contracts is based on your that's your blockchain part of it. That how smart contracts are blockchain based smart contracts are working. How beneficial it is for the companies. Less of lawyers. You don't need much of lawyer intervention. It is smooth. It is fast. It is cost effective. And any change coming in makes that contract invalid. So that helps you out. Now, then cryptocurrency, what kind of other things that happens? What are the other benefits that comes with cryptocurrencies is that it is unique between the two parties. So it ensures confidentiality. That's one bigger challenge that comes. Even the chance of theft is also very less, identity theft. It finds itself in the center of the technology and finance with more people having access to internet than the bank or on a global scale. So it opens opportunity for underprivileged people to establish credit. It could prove to be a game changer, whereas banking, the unbanked and more equitable means of distributing wealth is concerned. It also opens up a global financial market and offers an opportunity for international businesses to flourish and people and parties to make one-on-one exchange online without complications, without added fees, without bank being part of it, without bringing in the traditional international currency exchanges that involve third party. So it becomes easy and fast and less expensive. Then it's considered to be highly secure. So that's one of the security. I mean, it has been said that, and I think you students would be the best to talk, that it has been secured. It has been said that it is more secure than the bank transactions. So security is another this thing, and also at the same time, ICOs, entrepreneurs can raise money through ICOs in cryptocurrency. This will help them to grasp, the financial coverage by assisting smooth transactions, getting digital wallets, online payments, purchases, and another financial, liberties, which all these startups or the new firms which are being craving for. Now, India has also seen a massive surge. If we just restrict ourselves now to India, there is a massive surge whereas cryptocurrency exchanges operating from 2012 to 17 is concerned. There's a huge user base and massive popularity over the crypto market within a year. Now, regulators, authorities like RBI and others have been trying a lot. They have issued a press release cautioning, dealing in virtual currencies, including Bitcoin. But then, this was no way to demonetization, and it opened a gate of massive transactions volume currency in 2016, courtesy demonetization. Now, this forced 2016 that RBI and Ministry of Finance to release another press release. They went on to talk that, and they reiterated the security concerns over dealing with Bitcoins or other cryptocurrencies. Now, in 2017, the government of India constituted a very high-level inter-ministerial committee under the chairmanship of Subhash Chandra Garg, and they said that he was the secretary of Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and it talked about it gave a report on various issues pertaining to use of virtual currency and suggest suitable action to be taken as well. Now, this committee submitted its report in July 2019, recommending a ban on the private cryptocurrencies in India. Now, in 2018, RBI issued a circular preventing any type of commercial and cooperative banks or small finance banks or payment banks or NBFCs from dealing with any kind of virtual currencies themselves, directing them to stop providing services to all entities who deal with virtual currencies. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So now this essentially crippled the entire crypto market. People got panicky. The punishments which were being, which people were thinking of what will happen with that money and what would be the punishment that we are looking out for. And people, people even the entire industry, crypto industry, was backed by, they were banks, they were sending and receiving money and converting the cryptocurrency through banks, and that specific circular which prevented commercial and cooperative banks or other payment banks to use it or to convert it. So that entirely rippled the entire space, and also converting cash became leading to the situation where there was pain, whereas paying salaries, vendor, office space, and etc. are concerned. Now, then they were forced. Crypto users were forced to cash out quickly, and the industry was hit hard by two fronts, with a loss of both banking facilities and also reduced transactions. Now, looking at this scenario, IMI, which I was talking about, Internet and Mobile Association, that's an industry body whose members carried out a cryptocurrency transactions among each other, filed a writ petition in Supreme Court in somewhere around May 2018. Now, they went on and they filed it against RBI. So the matter is Internet Mobile Association of India versus RBI 2018. Now, this talked about that they challenged the RBI circular, and they argued that cryptocurrency was more on the lines of a commodity, and the RBI had no powers to impose the ban among other aspects. So they went on that, okay, absolutely fine. This scenario of RBI circular and the later one completely changed. On May 2020 is when the Supreme Court passed a judgment quashing the earlier ban imposed by the RBI, and they also said that crypto traders and investors heaved a sign of relief, and industry began to see another steady growth once again. But things did not end over there. June 12th, news reports were out stating that the government plans to issue a lasting ban on cryptocurrencies by introducing a new law. Then the claim being that the law would be more it's still not out, but then the law would be more effective than the circular of the RBI in this regard. There are reports which says that, that the note was passed by the finance ministry and inter-ministerial consideration, banning of cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill 2019, which ultimately is the law to effectively ban cryptocurrencies once for all and decimate the industry. Now, under this bill, cryptocurrency is defined as any kind of information, code, token, which has a digital representation of value, has utility in business activity, acts as a store of value or a unit of an account. Now, this will practically, this bill, if it comes in the same form, will ban or prohibit, effectively prohibit mining, holding, selling, trade, issuance, disposal, or use of cryptocurrency in the country. And this definition might be too vague and broad for us to interpret, and the token which comes under it of cryptographic means. Penalties are as high as, economic crimes can go, imprisonment can go up to almost 10 years, which is way too high to deal with. To an extent that money laundering also is same kind of punishment. So practically it's very high, whereas punishments are concerned if the same bill comes in existence. Now we have been seeing a lot at last that, like in my opinion, a proper regulatory framework will not help law enforcement agencies to understand the technology, but they need to understand the technology that will help them capitalize this, industry, which is worth billions and billions of money, and which, provides employment, makes it easy, makes it smooth. The transactions are happening, and it's not just government of India who has to deal with it. The way we are going global, the way we have internet in place, the way technology is seeping into our day-to-day life and our transactions, whereas our lifestyle, whereas money transactions, whereas ease of doing business is concerned, one has to look into the global nature of currency and formulate banning should not be should not be the result. So there should be a proper regulatory framework which is effective, which practically helps in booming this industry. I understand that there are issues related to cryptocurrency, but one cannot overlook that this industry cannot be completely just put into a side. So there is a need to find a healthy balance between banks, cryptocurrencies, and find a way for both to exist and for public to reap benefits as a whole. That's what I would like to conclude. And yes, welcoming NFT related transactions, we have been seeing the tokenization of, whereas art is concerned, whereas self-executing crypto contracts are concerned. If you look into NFTs, we have been seeing that there's a gold rush, and people are trying to use these tokens for music, digital art, video, and even they're collecting and buying, trading NFTs like crazy. To an extent that it has been projected that by the end of 2021, NFT market itself would be crypto based, which is the transaction is in ether or something, would be $1.3 billion. So imagine the kind of industry we are looking into. There cannot be a proper ban, but there are risks, there are benefits. There is a need for a fine balance to be created via regulation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. In a short span of time period, you have explained the cryptocurrency concept and discussed scenario of cryptocurrency in India and outside of India in a very music manner. Thank you so much for your time and knowledge shared with us. I know you're too much busy and taking out the time, it's too much difficult. Once again, thank you, madam. Over to you, Shubhangi, madam. Please continue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank Ms. Khushbu Jain, ma'am. In spite of your busy schedule, ma'am, you have accepted our invitation and you have shared your valuable knowledge with us. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to thank Dr. Amol Deshmukh, sir, Principal NIT, for continuous motivation for such various activities. I thank all the participants for attending the inaugural ceremony of the short-term training program.